Hello, hello on this beautiful Wednesday evening. We are on June 27th, almost July, and we are here to just present to you this new revamped version of the Black Fathers Inc. podcast. Last year, anybody that was involved with United and Guided knew that we had run 7 episodes last year. You can find them on UAG TV and YouTube, but we are coming back in 2023 with just a new style, and it is not just me, your host, Imani Lucas. I'm here with my partner.
And I go by the name Nerd Boy Mar. We want to give a shout out to the sponsors, California Department of Public Health, Black Child Legacy, and Sac Unified School District, and not to mention Access Sacramento.
Yes, yes. And for all those gracious people and our gracious community members, we're able to bring this together. So this show is going to be a little bit different than it was last year. We're going to have some news for you, some current events, keep everybody informed about what's going on. But then we also have this great component where we're going to talk about the Sacramento art scene and the Sacramento music scene and how, we have so many influencers that are playing a big part of that. Definitely. Ain't that right, Nerd Boy?
Definitely. A lot going on with the music scene, you guys.
That's right. So, we want to bring that to you. First, we are going to start with some local news. All eyes are on the Supreme Court as the nation awaits a ruling on student loan forgiveness. The decision, which could have far-reaching implications for millions of borrowers, is highly anticipated. The case in question revolves around the legality of President Biden's administration's plan to provide broad-based loan forgiveness to eligible student loan borrowers. This initiative, aimed at alleviating the burden of student loans or student debt, has been one of the administration's key promises so far. The Supreme Court's ruling is expected to settle the debate over whether the president has the authority to unilaterally forgive student loan debt without congressional approval. Advocates argue that the move is necessary to provide relief to struggling borrowers and stimulate the economy. However, opponents argue that such a decision exceeds the president's power and could set a dangerous precedent. While the specific timeline for ruling remains uncertain, experts speculate that a decision may be announced in the coming weeks. This ruling will likely shape the future of student loan forgiveness and have a significant impact on borrowers across the country. In the meantime, the debate surrounding student loan forgiveness continues to intensify. Many borrowers are eagerly awaiting the court's decision as their financial futures hang in the balance. Student loan debt has reached staggering levels, with millions of Americans burdened by substantial loans that can hire their ability to buy homes, start businesses, and save for retirement. Regardless of the outcome, it's important to note that the student loan forgiveness is a complex issue with no easy answers. The ruling by the Supreme Court will undoubtedly have a profound implication that could set a precedent for future actions related to student loan debt. Now, Nerd Boy, you're looking at a 49-year-old man.
Yes, sir.
And when I was going through as a student, it was a different time. There was not internet, not ways that you can go for your career or be very flexible in the type of career path you wanted to choose.
Right.
We were told to go and get that education, get that student loan. Many of us went through school to get that student loan and ended up in this tremendous amount of debt when you maybe not decided to do that major that you decided on originally.
Right.
So now there are several Americans in that position that are hoping that the Biden administration will come through on its promise and eliminate some of that debt.
Definitely, it's needed. We got people that need to go to school immediately. Definitely.
Yes.
We got the BET Awards, if you guys missed it, as far as the next news. In celebration of 50 years of hip-hop, the BET Awards made history last night with a star-studded event honoring the iconic genre. The annual ceremony held in Los Angeles brought together some of the biggest names in music entertainment. The BET Awards, one of the most anticipated events in the music industry, took place last night in Los Angeles. This year's ceremony marked a significant milestone celebrating 50 years of hip-hop culture. I said 50 years.
50 years.
Of hip-hop culture. That's big in the hip-hop industry.
A very long
I
time.
mean? So the star-studded event brought together legendary artists, rising stars, and passionate fans from around the world. This night was filled with mesmerizing performances and memorable moments. Hip-hop icon LL Cool J kicked off the show, taking the audience on a journey throughout five decades of hip-hop history. That's one of my favorite guys right there, LL Cool J, definitely.
Yes.
His energetic performance set the stage for what would be an unforgettable night. Some of the biggest names in industry took home prestigious awards. Rapper Megan Thee Stallion, known for her powerful lyrics and infectious beats, was crowned Best Female Hip Hop Artist. This marked her second consecutive win in this category, solidifying her status as force to be reckoned with. Drake, a chart-topping artist with an extensive catalog of hits, was honored with the Best Male Hip Hop Artist Award. Known for his versatility and ability to dominate the charts, Drake continues to push boundaries of hip hop music. The Lifetime Achievement Award was presented to the legendary group Wu-Tang Clan with their unique sound and that's it.
There we go. We have to put that up right here.
Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, one more time, man, for them. The Lifetime Achievement Award was presented to the legendary group Wu-Tang Clan with their unique sound and thought-provoking lyrics. Wu-Tang Clan has left an indelible mark on the hip-hop landscape over the past 5 decades. Their contributions have not only influenced the genre, but also shaped popular cultures as a whole. So yeah, man, it kicked off good. The BET Awards.
You know, big ups to Busta Rhymes, the Wu-Tang Clan, LL Cool J, all my people from New York. Big ups to them. I love the fact that 50 years in hip hop is huge, man. It's huge because not very many people thought that genre was going to last at all. I remember back in the days they used to make fun of the Fat Boys because the human beatbox was something different and it was something rare. And they used to try to make fun of it like it wasn't going to last. And look, 50 years later.
I like to think a lot of them paved the way for us. I mean, the new generation and the next generation. A lot of the older artists, man, they created that path for us, and we give you guys appreciation, much love for it. We give you guys roses for that, most definitely.
Yes. Shout out to the young ones too, Megan Thee Stallion, all y'all doing y'all thing these days. Much love. But let me move on to the next story. The Federal Reserve, also known as the Fed, has just completed its annual stress tests on major U.S. banks. These tests are designed to evaluate the bank's ability to withstand adverse economic conditions and potential financial shocks. The results of these tests are critical for determining whether the banks have enough capital to weather financial crises. According to the reports from the New York Times, the stress test results were generally positive, and the most banks were showing resilience and maintaining sufficient capital levels. This outcome suggests that the banking sector is better prepared to handle potential economic downturns and shocks compared to previous years. The stress tests evaluate various scenarios, including a severe recession, unemployment spikes, and market volatility. They assess how banks' balance sheets, risk management practice, and capital positions would hold up under these adverse conditions. By conducting these tests, the Federal Reserve aims to ensure the stability of the financial system and protect against potential threats. The Fed stress test results play a significant role in determining whether the banks can distribute capital to shareholders in the form of dividends or share buybacks. The banks that perform well in the stress test can reward their shareholders by returning profits. However, those that do not meet the Fed's capital requirements may be restricted from distributing capital, forcing them to bolster their reserves instead. It's worth noting that this year's stress test included an additional focus on climate change risks. As the environmental concerns continue to gain traction, regulators are paying closer attention to how banks are assessing and managing climate-related risks. The inclusion of this factor highlights the growing importance of sustainability and resilience in the financial industry. Overall, the stress test results provide some reassurance regarding the health of the banking sector. While the tests cannot predict or prevent future crises, they can contribute to enhancing the resilience of the financial system overall by identifying areas for improvement and maintaining adequate capital buffers. So with all that said, I mean, that's really important for what happens with the banks. You know, it was only 10 years ago where there were some large businesses that crumbled, including some very large financial investment firms, very large insurance companies. AIG was in trouble, Lehman Sachs, and it caused a ripple throughout the economy that was very damaging. And we're just pulling back up out of that. So it's good to know, you know, people out there, make sure you're evaluating your bank right now, because you know you want to make sure that those reserves are going to be set. All bank accounts are protected by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC, only up to $100,000. And by the way, they don't tell you exactly in what time they'd have to pay you that money. So just check on your banks, make sure they're in good financial shape, and make sure they're giving you a appropriate level of service for the amount of money that you have holding with them. Right. Just some tips there.
Definitely written down, man. So we also have some unfortunate news about pop star Madonna. Music icon Madonna has been hospitalized and forced to postpone her upcoming tour due to a bacterial infection. Let's go to our correspondent for the details. Correspondent says, "Thank you. Madonna, the legendary pop singer, has been hospitalized with a bacterial infection, leading to the postponement of her highly anticipated tour. The 64-year-old artist, known for her groundbreaking music and electrifying performances, was admitted to a medical facility earlier today. According to her representatives, Madonna's condition became serious enough to require immediate medical attention. Although her specific details about the infection have not been disclosed, it is reported to be a bacterial ailment. The exact timeline for her recovery and return to the stage remains uncertain. Madonna has been preparing for her upcoming World of Madonna tour, which was set to kick off in just a few weeks. The tour was highly anticipated by fans around the globe, with tickets selling out rapidly. However, due to her hospitalization, the tour has been temporarily postponed. Fans who have eagerly awaited the opportunity to see Madonna perform live will have to wait a little longer. Ticket holders are advised to keep their tickets, as the concert dates are expected to be rescheduled once Madonna's health allows for her to return to the stage. So we pray and hope for her instant recovery.
Yes. Let's hope Madonna recovers well. So unfortunate what she's going through right now, and I know she has millions of fans across the world, so I know that they are also pulling for her for a speedy recovery.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So in the last bit of news, San Francisco, California has introduced an innovative program called the SF Be the Jury that aims to involve citizens in the judicial process. Under this initiative, participants will be paid to serve on virtual juries for civil trials. The program, which is its first of its kind in the United States, seeks to address the issue of low jury participation rates in the city. Dealing with the participation rates in the city is very difficult. You know, people have all kinds of excuses. According to the San Francisco Superior Court, the current system faces challenges in surrounding enough jurors for civil trials. To overcome this problem, the court has partnered with a private company to develop an online platform where individuals can sign up to be part of the virtual jury pool. Participants will receive $125 per day and be given the opportunity to contribute to the judicial system from the comfort of their own homes. Now that's a real good thing, right? Be able to do that from home. I would participate more. The program is expected to be a win-win for both citizens and the court. Not only will participants be compensated for their time, but they will also gain valuable insights into the legal process. Additionally, by involving more citizens in the jury system, the court aims to enhance the representativeness of juries that ensure diverse perspectives are considered during civil trials. So yeah, I like that. I mean, you know, I would, if they paid a little bit more money, maybe I feel like going to jury duty. I know sometimes, you know, you say you go into jury duty, you get sick. Some of those things happen, right?
Yeah.
So the law, you know, I'm sorry, there's been a law passed to increase the compensation overall, and that's just been such a wonderful thing. I hope they do that all over the United States. Definitely. So then, you know, we'll get more fair representation when we're dealing with jurors. You know,
that's needed. It's
the
needed.
fairer, the better. So, you know, and especially you can go to a jury, and maybe you won't have attitude when you're in the jury because you're getting paid $125. So we'll think about that. We can advance for everybody to go. So, hey, thank you for listening to our news. We are going to bring you regular news updates every time myself and my partner, Nerd Boy Mar, are on the scene. Definitely. We're here to bring you the actual what's going on around the world, particularly around the state of California and Sacramento, where we live and thrive and survive. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come and talk a little bit to our local artists who are really going to show us what their journey has been over the past couple years and what they're up to today.
Hang in, you guys. Tune in. We'll be right back.
All right. Welcome back to Black Fathers, Inc., our podcast that we're going to start up again regularly for 2023. My name is Imani Lucas. I'm here with my brother and my partner, my nephew, Nerd Boy Moore. Yes. We're in the house together, man. So, you know, I was really happy. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier, we have done about 7 of these podcasts. And we would just invite people from the community, people that we were impressed with, people that we admired, to just have them come and discuss their experience. And we had different topics every time. And one was about education. Another one was about gang violence. Another one was about parenthood. But we always tried to focus on positive Black fathers. And, you know, being positive doesn't mean you're 100% perfect. We all had our flaws and we all have our problems that we have to go through. But what makes us a father is the resilience it takes to overcome those issues and still be a positive blessing in somebody's life. So my nephew, Nerd Boy Mar, man. So, you know, I want to talk to you because, you know, you are bringing this different type of flavor to Sacramento. Right. You're a young man and you are a dad, man. So, you know, why don't you talk about how we first met and, you know, what led up to today?
Man, it was years ago, man. And as soon as we just locked in, we was locked in and just start going up from here, man. From him at Papa Bear Village and just coming around positive vibes and just a mentor, somebody to guide you, man. If you young generation, you don't have a mentor, somebody to guide you, go find that person, man, because he's definitely one of those people, man.
Right on. And, you know, we started off with a group. We started working with the California Department of Public Health, and they allowed us a little leeway to be able to get creative about how we bring Black fathers together. So we started a group. We call ourselves Papa Bear's Village, and it's really about the dads in the community who decided to come together and try to do something consistent to where other parents can come and be a part of their kids' lives, but to be able to do it on a weekly basis. And, you know, not only that, specifically for our fathers, we'd have monthly listening sessions with them. We call that Real Pop Talk. And then we had a young dads group, and Nerd Boy Mar was part of that with his 2 young children. What were your children's names there, Mar?
So I got my son named Xavier, and my daughter's name is Ayana. Yes, sir.
Yes. Beautiful little girl, and
that's my everything.
And having your baby son. I remember us going out going out to
Yeah, we
breakfast, and
had
you had
a big
baby out
dinner
there.
table, man. I had the kids out there. Yeah, I had the baby strap on that day.
That's
Yeah,
right.
had
That's
the
right.
baby strap
Always
on
a
that day.
dedicated dad, and was profound. Mars in his mid 20s, and just for someone to be that young, he's definitely profound as well. So just the gratitude and the respect that he has when he's speaking with his elders and people that are younger than him just shows that he has the utmost integrity. I want to move over to a clip of Mari. This is like a year and a half ago with Jamari and his son Xavier, just
Wow.
really showing his maturity and his grown manness in that video, just when he was about 2-3 years younger. So let's take a look at that clip.
Let's look. Let's look.
Okay. No, I just appreciate everybody coming together to make a plan work. Like I said before, it takes a village and we are the village. So I appreciate y'all. It feels good seeing y'all. I'm looking forward to the upcoming events and us, and the turnouts, the upcoming turnouts that we gonna have. So, it's all love, man. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man. That's you representing right there, bro. And you seem like you were really happy to be around your son, but I think you told me that you wasn't all the way happy.
Yeah, man. So I gotta be honest. That it did bring tears to my eyes seeing that video. One thing that's most important to me is being a parent. I haven't seen my son in a little bit of a while. Not by choice, of course, because like I said, being a dad is most important than anything. But just based off, I'm not the type to like to put anything off the other parent or anything like that. On both sides, it could be growth. Yeah. Both sides, it always could be better. But just the situation right now, unfortunately, it's just having me just be here from a distance, love him from a distance, just for now, if that makes any sense. But yeah, that definitely brought tears to my eyes. That's my little guy. I love him. I'm always love him. Yeah, so
yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so big ups for staying hard throughout that, man, and
definitely.
And also being able to show some of your vulnerability right here on camera, man.
Right,
so
right.
I mean, big ups to you for that.
Right.
Shout out to Xavier out there, what I mean.
Definitely.
And sometimes you have to play a strategy, which means sometimes having a little bit of distance until some of those thoughts can reformulate, and you're able to check in again, and it's more welcoming. So there is nothing wrong with taking that distance just for your own safety and the safety of others, but always re-engaging and making sure that child knows that they have a loving parent, which I'm sure Xavier already does.
Yes,
right?
Definitely.
And also Ayana, who's out there. And I just
definitely.
saw her at the park last weekend.
And she stay on my hip. She stay on my hip. That's my right-hand princess right there. Man.
Yes,
I love her so much.
So as a father of these two beautiful children, man, like what are some of the things you do to make sure that they maintain and that you holding them down right?
So communication is everything. You know what I'm saying? It's not always about just the kid. It's about communication with that kid's parent, other side of the mother or the father. It's about communication that you guys gotta have at all times. You know what I mean? I would say that's like one of the most important things with having a kid. You gotta communicate at all times. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So yeah, that's just one. That's one important thing. That's the biggest to me, if you ask.
Man, I learned over the years that communication that applies to almost every aspect of your life.
So
everybody who's important that you want in your life, you have to almost go out of your way to make sure that you're communicating properly.
Definitely, that proper communication is could be the reason to pulls y'all together.
Absolutely,
could be what pulls y'all together.
Absolutely, man. So thank you for that. I know also that you are heavily into your music, man, and the Nerd Boy Mar, the personality is what Sacramento is seeing right now, man. Tell me about some of the upcoming promotions that's coming through.
We got so many projects going on right now. I have so many people to shout out. I don't know where to start. We got projects with Matthew Balling right now. Shout out Matthew Balling. You know, we got a whole team, a God mode team going on right now. Shout out Mr. Lewis.
Yes. Mr. Lewis, Matt Balling.
Shout out Jari's World. You know, shout out my brother Vince. Shout out Glory Tunes. We just got our biggest thing, we've been trying to get a team together and just build us closer, and so that it's only one way to go, and that's up. And that's really what we've been focused on, and strengthening that team. We've been torn. We just got back from Vegas not too long ago. It's just so much we're doing. Shows coming up. We got a show coming up with Unk the Hunk and Mr. Fab soon.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a couple things we got going on that's really,
be big,
really positive.
And we are going to get a taste of that as well.
Yes.
Here, the musical performance done by Nerd Boy Mar.
But
the one thing I want to ask him real quick, because we're going to invite another guest that's also a part of this new cultural scene that seems to be emerging in Sacramento. You know, I see brothers like you and Mr. Lewis and Matthew Balling and Jari and Vince Lewis and Coon the Poet. Some of you young brothers are really showing yourselves out there in the community. People are starting to recognize you guys.
Definitely.
Things are starting to happen. So, you know, when I look back, and we just had that little piece that we did about the 50th year of hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, I look back into what you guys are starting to develop, and I think leaders of the new school. I think, you know,
That means
native tongues, right? You guys are a whole positive group that sees the positivity in each other and helps uplift that, man. So just keep doing that.
It's all love. I don't mean to cut you off, but you said a word that stood out to me, and I just want to add a little bit of light to that, and that's the fact that you said positive. That's been my biggest thing. That's one of the hardest things as an artist coming up in Sacramento to be doing, is making positive music. Is one of the hardest things to come up in Sacramento under. Sacramento is severely known for politics. As much as I love my city, as far as the music part of things, but I want to create a new wave. The people around me want to create a new wave, and that's a wave that there is positive artists. There are people you could listen to. There are people you could listen to with your mom, your grandmother, your aunties, the youth, and that's another big thing. We're really focused on the youth.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like you guys, you know, guiding us, you know, like the older generation guiding the OGs, guiding us. We're the next wave for the youth, the ones that's younger than us, and that's what's most important about the Nerd Boy and the brand we all have going on, and New Generation Entertainment, and everything we have going on revolves around the youth, and that's what's most important right now to us.
Yes, sir. So we're going to take a break right now, Mar, but we're going to bring another guest on who is also part of that cultural movement. You know, been rocking with United Guider for quite a bit, and he always has some really profound things to say. Definitely. So keep tuned. We're going to be back with Mr. Vince Lewis.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. But before we get started, I want to introduce one of the best brothers that I know right now. He's a child advocate, entrepreneur, excellent brother, wonderful brother, Vince, man. How you doing?
How my people doing, man?
I'm all right, man. It's good to have you here.
What's going on, my brother?
Come on, man. Yeah.
What's up,
That's
Imani?
right.
How you been, man?
Brother?
I'm
Good.
well, I'm well.
Yes, sir. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do, just about the movement, man?
So really, I do a lot of things, but the most important thing is I'm a human and/or child advocate. I think that's, when I leave this earth, that's what I'm gonna be known for real. As far as the photography is concerned, my photography idol or role model is Gordon Parks. He turned his camera on the community and on society.
Wow.
So that's what I've done.
Wow.
So I don't want to shoot models necessarily. I don't want to shoot things that don't progress like the culture.
Right.
So my background is I work with kids most of my life, work with people. I've worked with infants all the way to gerontology, and that's senior citizens. And so that's why I say I'm a human advocate, because I advocate for all people, especially the folks who can't speak for themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I'm not afraid of that, so I speak truth to power, no matter who the power is.
Right.
Like that.
You know?
That's deep.
So how what is your vision? that. You know, you want things that are empowering and for the culture. What's your definition of culture?
I don't really have like a definition that I could put into words, but I would just say like to be present and to be aware and to be accountable and to be forgiving and to be solution oriented and to build up and not tear down.
I like that.
So I would say my vision though would be just to show it all, the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, because it's all a part of us. It's all part of our like growth. And in the media, we've been painted ugly.
Yeah.
That's deep.
And I'm not a gang member, so I don't relate to the gang member.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a doughboy, so I don't relate to the doughboy. But I relate to the martial artist, the nerd, the doctor,
Come on.
the philanthropist, the poet, the artist, the Monty Lucases of the world. You know what I'm saying? I relate to that.
Yes. There's not enough, you know, there's folks that desperately want to be that part of themselves, but don't have quite the atmosphere or the environment to be able to do that, right? So,
Yeah.
so it feels like what you bring out in your artwork actually gives some people some freedom and some leeway to actually be themselves, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you're right. Not all of us are
Yeah.
gangsters or even think about hurting anybody, right?
Yeah,
And just the fact that there are some of us, you know, from young ages who are ridiculed for
Yeah,
being
man.
peaceful and ridiculed
Yeah.
for being positive. You know, it's really good that brothers like yourself and brothers like Nerd Boy Mar here are bringing that culture back to Sacramento. And I'm not sure if it was here before. I'm originally from New York, but what you guys that grew up here, you know, how would you describe the climate and how it's changed from then until now?
You know what happened? There was a positive movement. You got like the Tribe of Levi's. You got Marty Bush. You had Brew Lee. You had Nomad. You had a bunch of artists. Century got bars. You had a bunch of artists that was like real like hip hop, real backpackers, real community, real like that kind of thing. But cats got older and kind of washed out with like responsibilities
Right.
and forgot they was artists.
Right.
I'm not saying that they did that, but they kind of, you know what I'm saying, they kind of stopped doing it like in a big way, like they was doing it.
Yeah.
But now we got like God Mode, like Mar. You got Glory Tunes, Mr. Lewis, Matthew Ballin. I'm not saying I'm not God Mode, but I'm God Mode. You know what I'm saying? Like I joined them because it's a group of dudes that's just like me for real.
Yeah.
And I think I'm probably the oldest in the group. I think me and Matt Ballin is the same age. I think we was in high school at the same time. But outside of that, like when I'm around him, I feel like I'm at home. And like I got to God Mode through my brother right here, Mar. I've been knowing Mar probably like 4 years, something like that.
4 years now.
But
About
we
4
really
years.
like tapped in when he turned 26. He asked me to come shoot his birthday. And we kind of been rocking since his birthday. It's been about 2 months.
Man.
And we just been working. We just been at it. But when I really tapped in with him for real before that is we had an event at Papa Bear's Village. And my son, I have a son that I don't live with. He lives in North Carolina. He called, and Mar talked to him. I call him Mar. That's my brother.
Yeah, yeah.
Mar talked to him. And so that is the day that I listened to all of Mar's music that I could find on the internet. And that's when I realized that he's like an actual artist. He's an MC. He's a lyricist. He's not just a rapper.
Yes.
Yeah, he's easy on the eyes and he got a certain look, but he's an actual MC. Like he really could bar you.
Yes.
Love,
and
love,
he chooses
love.
dope
Yeah.
beats.
Yeah.
So what I noticed
Yeah.
about it, and I was just hearing it coming from another car, I was like, Mari, that's your weed. He's like, yeah. I was like, oh,
Right.
okay. But where I find that on Spotify. Man.
Right,
So,
right.
Jamari, like, what do you feel like? How did you feel when you first started to meet Vince? And from what I know, that Vince right now is helping, get some publicity for your modeling career.
Severely. This is another one of my mentors, man. You got to keep you at least 4 or 5 mentors around you guys, keep like 4 or 5 mentors around you. If you could reach higher than that, I would suggest it, man. It's good to have some people like this around you. Vince, man, is constantly encouraging me, constantly in my head. Mar, you're great, man. Times I ain't even realized I was great. Times I felt like I wasn't great at that point in time. He's right there constantly lifting me up like, hey, brother, like, nah, I'm not gonna let you feel like that. Like, give me your hand, I'm gonna lift you up. You greater than that, you know? And that's the love we got, man. And we there for each other, man. And it's a wonderful relationship, wonderful vibe. I'm thankful for it. I just want to see us both win. I believe in him. I definitely believe he's gonna make it far.
Yeah, I really love you, bro.
Love you too, brother.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes,
come on.
Thank you all.
Come on.
So we're
too,
going to
brother.
conclude our show. We're wrapping it up right now. We're getting the cues that we need to wrap up our little function. We are going to have that performance by Nerd Boy Mar. Show him. I want to thank my guest, Nerd Boy Mar,
Yes,
Vince Lewis, for being part. Please let them know the name of your photography company, Vince, before we move on.
Oh yeah, it's Sewell V Photography. It's SIWELV Photography _ That's the Instagram handle. It's my name backwards. My last name is Lewis. My first name is Vince. So it's Sewell V Photography.
Check him out.
Yes,
Check him
yes.
out
So
immediately.
stay tuned for this great performance by Nerd Boy Mar. And we are out for the newscast. Peace. Everybody, we'll see you next time.
Hey.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I go by the name Nerd Boy Mar. Yeah.
No, you gon' make it out. Can't be by myself because it's too much that I think about. Screaming free my brother, I'm just glad that I ain't take that route. I'm trying to do right, but they still find something to be mad about. Sitting on the floor, was just me, had nowhere to go. I promise you could make it out the streets. Plant your seeds and grow. Looking at my baby, look at me, cause they watch the show. Teach them love instead of all this hate. What you was taught to know. Pray to God he told me you okay. And that's when I knew I was meant to really lead to you. I believe it's true. Murder in my city every day. Brody, please don't shoot. Bad enough our people are divided, case we had it new. Yeah. So I guess I'll be the change.
I remember Nerd Boy was the change when he ain't had no change. Broke my heart instead of me being mad, I'm the one to blame. Shouldn't even let him get you close, I never been the same.
No, you gon' make it out. Can't be by myself because it's too much that I think about. Screaming free my brother, I'm just glad that I ain't take that route. I'm trying to do right, but they still find something to be mad about. No, you gon' make it out. Can't be by myself because it's too much that I think about. Screaming free my brother, I'm just glad that I ain't take that route. I'm trying to do right, but they still find something to be mad about. I'm trying to do right, but they still find something to be mad about.
Sometimes you think you want to disappear, but all you really want to do
Nerd.
is be found.
Look, when people see you change and make you change, I had to get away. And being alone, it really takes some practice. I just had to pray. If your love is toxic, gotta get away. Loyalty and love will never be enough to make me stay.
Yeah.
I'm on another planet. Couldn't stop no bro from doing that skit. I really can't stand it. Now you watching him put on his shirt. Now you can't manage. This life is way too short. Nothing's ever handed.
No, you gon' make it out. Can't be by myself because it's too much that I think about. Screaming free my brother, I'm just glad that I ain't take that route. I'm trying to right, but they still find something to be mad about. I'm trying to right, but they still find something to be mad about.
Yeah. Nerd.
No, you gon' make it out. Can't be by myself because it's too much that I think about. Screaming free my brother, I'm just glad that I ain't take that route. I'm trying to right, but they still find something to be mad about. No, you gon' make it out. Can't be by myself because it's too much that I think about. Screaming free my brother, I'm just glad that I ain't take that route. I'm trying to right, but they still find something to be mad about. I'm trying to right, but they still find something to be mad about.
Yeah. Sometimes you want to disappear, but all you really want to do is be found. Shout out New Generation Entertainment, United and Guided.
know you gon' make it out. Can't be by myself because it's too much that I think about. Screaming free my brother, I'm just glad that I ain't take that route. I'm trying to do right, but they still find something to be mad about.
Yeah.